Well, the book is, as the name suggests, it's a commentary on the different provisions of the Arms Trade Treaty. Why this was so interesting is perhaps different to some of the other disarmament law treaties that I've been engaged in. This one cuts across a lot of branches of international law, and people are still arguing about what exactly it is. Is it a trade treaty, as the name suggests? We think probably not. There's very little related to the WTO, for example, the World Trade Organization. Is it a human rights treaty? Some governments get very upset when we say it's a human rights treaty. There are references to jus ad bellum, the law on the interstate use of force. There are references to counter-terrorism law, to international humanitarian law. It cuts across quite a swathe of branches of international law. And for that reason, the four authors thought that this would be something that's very badly needed, because you might be specialist in one area and then not know enough about other areas. Well, I enjoy writing commentaries. I've been involved in two so far, one on the Anti-Personnel Mineman Convention, one on the Convention on Cluster Munitions. But right from the outset, when it was announced that there would be negotiations, preliminary discussions and then formal negotiations, I thought this was something that I would like to be part of, because it had those different elements, jus ad bellum, human rights, law of armed conflict. It was an opportunity to write across a range of branches, and hopefully to give the reader an idea on how this treaty should be implemented. I enjoyed it. It was quite a long process because of the complexity of the treaty. We spent 2 years working on drafts, revising them, getting input from peers, from governments, from civil society. So it was quite a long process, but I think the book benefits from that input, because there are areas even now in which we four authors don't agree. And I can highlight a couple of them. For example, a very contentious word in one of the provisions that deals with the duty to deny an authorization of transfer, and the word is overriding. And as you'll see, if you read the book, there are several paragraphs devoted to what exactly does this word mean. And my view was not necessarily the same as the co-author's view. So we had a lot of fun in the drafting, coming up with something that represented everyone's view fairly. From working on the book, it's been an opportunity, as I said, to cut across different sectors of international law, to learn about perhaps areas where international trade law in particular, where I certainly hadn't the requisite expertise beforehand. So it's been a good opportunity to push the international legal boundaries, if you were.